Welcome to the Screen Time Continuum. I am Keelan. It is Wednesday, aka Hump Day, or Screen Day. Let's call it that from this forward. Trying
There
to
we
throw
go.
something new out there, right? Screen Day, right?
I love it.
Um, as always, I am joined by my co-hosts, Nick and Dijon. How you doing out there, fellas?
What's going on, man? Happy Screen Day.
Yes, indeed.
Then for me, since it's Screen Day, it's also Marvel Wednesday for me again.
Yeah.
What if Wednesdays?
What if Wednesdays? They're back. Why did they come back now?
What if Marvel just took a break? How about that?
I was hoping they would. I'm trying to start something new over here.
Right.
They trying to deal with some shit right now.
Yeah, they got to make some extra money.
Oh,
I'm bad today.
hey, it's all right. The cool thing is they're so used to making deals. I don't think it's gonna go too wrong for them. Um, Here we are today. We are covering something that is not a Marvel movie. This is a movie that came out this year in 2021. To my recollection, now this is not like printed anywhere. This isn't something that I think was even noted, but I feel like this was the first big or major movie with major names on HBO Max this year. And it kind of headlined the rollouts for movies being broken or debuting on HBO. Anybody else kind of see that? Like the first movie to it's only going to be up for 28 days or 30 days of the year.
Wonder Woman was.
The Wonder Woman, I think, was the first blockbuster, but I mean just big names, something that nobody really expected, but it was still eye-catching. Kind of like a few years ago when Netflix was doing that whole revamp and they came out with that Will Smith movie and the Vampire Cops and all of that. I'm not saying it did super well. I'm just saying it feels like a similar type of rollout, like they were branching into something new. If we had seen this earlier in the year, I think this statement would be foreshadowing, and now it's not because we're so far past the debut of this.
All I will say is I hope that HBO didn't spend a whole lot of money on this movie.
You know what, the kind of deal they set up, to counteract people bitching about things being on their streaming service for the year. After I heard what they did with Wonder Woman, they gave director and the main stars $10,000 of hush hush money.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised because I haven't heard anybody else out of Warner Brothers. I mean, just these lineup of movies this year bitch at all. Because I know Patty Jenkins was bitching at the beginning about her movie being in theaters, such and such. The only person I know who didn't go for that shit was Christopher Nolan with Tenet. He's like, my shit's coming out in theaters. It can wait. Fuck that. So, give me some hush money, please, people.
Right.
Hey, man. I mean, if you know the right amount of things, they might just have to keep you quiet, right? So yeah, this movie, I guess, it really depends on how you look at that whole rollout thing. But the movie we're talking about is the 2021 movie The Little Things, which starred Denzel Washington, Jared Leto, and Rami Malek. I like all three starring actors. I even like, for a minute I was a little panicked at how they were rolling the characters out, like introducing them. But once that came full circle, I was pleasantly surprised. How did you guys feel about the cast before I get into the director?
I mean, these are all three of them won Oscars, so I guess that means something. But cast is good. I like Rami Malek. His face makes me stare at him for a little while. He's got a weird eyes and a weird jaw and mouth.
Right.
Like I thought he was like he wore prosthetics for Bohemian Rhapsody, but it doesn't look like he really needed that many prosthetics because he's got like the same Freddie Mercury overbite. But yeah, I mean Denzel's obviously, he's Denzel. So, I don't really like Jared Leto all that much, and I might have a hot take here. I don't think he's been good in anything. So, take that for what it's worth. I would like to have a conversation. I think the only retort I would get back is Dallas Buyers Club, but I think that's more of a McConaughey movie than a Leto movie.
Fair.
So, only thing I've heard that he was like just pitch perfect on was fucking Requiem for a Dream. I have never seen it, so I'm just like, I'm not a fan of the dude myself.
I mean,
I honest the movies I've seen this guy in. So I'm gonna just say this too. I'm gonna piggyback off of you, Nick. I think the casting was good. I just think I don't think it was evaluated the way it should have been in this movie, where all these guys are like A-listers in their own means, especially what's his name, Denzel, and what's the other guy's name again?
Rami.
Rami.
And Rami. Jared Leto played a fucking weirdo, so he did good. It's not the Joker again, so I'm almost happy.
It was kind of the Joker. It was kind of the Joker in the Snyder Cut.
Ooh.
If the last scene of the Snyder Cut with the Joker, it's almost exactly like that.
You know what? Just like I tell, I'm not watching that shit. If that's all I need to know, like I tell people now, if I knew Black Widow was gonna be the way Black Widow was, I would just fucking skip to the ending credits and just called it a day. Yeah, the ensemble was cool. I just think it wasn't evaluated. It just didn't do what it was supposed to do with these characters.
Okay, fair enough. This movie is directed and written by John Lee Hancock. John Lee Hancock is the director of The Rookie, The Blind Side, Highwaymen, which is the film about the detective who arrested Bonnie and Clyde, or stopped Bonnie and Clyde. Arrested Bonnie and Clyde. What am I saying? And he also directed Founder, the McDonald's Founder movie. So, hot take. I read that this movie was written, or at least the script was written 28 years ago by this guy, John Lee Hancock. And he simply couldn't get a buyer. Like, he got people interested, but nobody was willing to cash in on it.
I wonder why.
And after doing, The Rookie and a few other movies, got with the producer of the film, but I believe his name is Michael. No, it's not Michael Douglas. That's an actor.
It's not Michael Moore.
It's not Michael Moore. I'm sorry, it's not Michael at all. It's Mark Johnson. It's Mark Johnson. So apparently, he got with John Lee Hancock and was like, "Hey, let's get this movie done for you." And that's how we got this film. So, yeah, that's really all the background that was available on the movie. As far as the people, again, we know the top 3 players. Not much to say. I mean, again, I don't even have to add anything. You guys said everything you could about all of the players in this film. Yeah, Denzel is Denzel. What don't you like? I mean, I don't even send you to Training Day. Just go watch Fences.
I'll tell you this. I haven't seen Fences. I haven't seen Training Day. I can keep going.
Training Day, I mean, yeah.
I mean,
this movie, I think this movie kind of wishes it was Training Day in some respect.
But it's almost like post-Training Day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Was he anything like the Book of Eli? Or Equalizer?
Equalizer and Man on Fire always I
I
always get those mixed up because it's kind of the same movie to me.
I think Man on Fire inspired Equalizer to be made.
God damn, dude. Just thinking about this shit, I think I've only seen 2 Denzel movies. Well, this will count as 3. I think I've only seen 2 Denzel movies.
With you saying that, what is your Denzel impression? Clearly, he's great to me and Nick. He's just Denzel to us. But what's your Denzel impression then? I like fresh takes on people, and most people don't have fresh takes on Denzel Washington. So
I like Denzel. He's a bit arrogant, but I like it. He earned it. He earns it, to tell you the truth.
Right? 40 years.
But I think I kind of fell in love with him after, as a person with his old arrogance and everything. He's just a man who he's worked for what he has in his life, and just don't bullshit him. And I kind of seen that and fell in love with him as a person. And what he does is when Chadwick Broderick died.
Oh, Chadwick Boseman, yeah.
And just going through his relationships with Denzel and how he came about. And I was just like, wow, okay. I've only seen him in Remember the Titans.
Oh yeah, great movie.
And it was a movie. It was an action movie.
Yes.
If I could name a movie, it would be called Fuck Some,
Mm.
and it would just be a black and white porno.
Starring Denzel Washington, huh?
Hell yeah!
Oh
Which woman
God,
wouldn't
never
want to
mind.
see
Why'd I
that?
start this guy up?
In some movie, I think with Eva, what's her name? Gloria?
Eva, yeah, that is Man on Fire, isn't it?
Not Man on Fire. It was
Yeah.
something. It was like he was in Florida out of time or
Yeah.
some shit,
Yeah,
and that was it.
well, I think that's Man on Fire.
I need to watch some more shit with him.
No, definitely need to brush up on your Denzel Washington. 'Cause just like I said, like we just take the two we just named. Go see Training Day because that's like a cult classic favorite for everybody who's ever, you know, King Kong ain't got shit on me type shit, right? Literally, like verbatim.
Malcolm X.
Oh,
Jeez.
yes,
That's
Malcolm
Oh, he
X.
did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody peeks through the blinds better than Denzel except Malcolm himself.
Mhm.
Yeah, Fences, run with those, man. Like once you get in those,
Even
you're just
Glory.
glory. You know, literally, like we can everything we name is gonna be gold.
Yeah.
No,
And that's what we should do. Find a bad Denzel Washington movie.
This one. Found
I was
it.
gonna say there's a big debate that he should have won his award not for Training Day but for Glory.
I can,
Or Malcolm X.
I can totally
Malcolm X.
understand a lot of arguments versus Training Day. Honestly,
So I
A lot
gotta
of
go
movies
see
versus Training Day.
all those movies just to get a. I do want to see him at Fence. I did enjoy Fences. That was a good play.
Great play.
And yeah, I gotta see these movies. This is what I love about getting on Screen Time Continuum with you guys. I get to broaden my view on fucking movies.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sure. I mean, hey, you guys just taught me something about Jared Leto because I know he's in films I've seen, but I never really like went to look and say like, oh damn, Jared Leto's in this.
Fuck 30 Seconds to Mars.
I didn't know he was in this many movies. Is what I'm saying. And Rami Malek, for me, I just like him as an actor. Like it's almost like the same with the guy who plays Dexter. Excuse me.
Mhm.
They're just two type of actors where it's like I don't know why, but I find out they're in something. It's like, all right, let's go. I'm watching. Go. I know it's gonna be good. Just go.
Bringing that shit, and I know. I think last night I made fun of. Should I buy? I was in a Goodwill. Like, should I buy Big Fish or Twilight? Funny enough, Romney was in Twilight.
Oh yeah.
He is in Twilight. Yeah.
And I didn't know. Like, I had a coworker tell me, like, he's in Twilight, man. He's like fucking Avatar in that movie. And I was like, yes,
What?
he was. He was the vampire with elemental powers and shit.
Oh, yeah. I just know he's in it.
You got to start somewhere.
We got a Twilight
He
conversation.
was also in Night at the Museum, so
Really?
There you
Yeah,
go.
he
Now,
was
that's a
in any of
movie I've
those
seen,
either.
and I
he
remember.
plays
him
the Pharaoh,
in.
or he plays one of the pharaohs. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, he plays Tut.
maybe. I know Hank Azaria is the other one.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, from there we move into the movie. So this movie is set in the 1990s, ironically or interestingly enough, from a movie that was written 28 years ago, which is in the 1990s. And I mean, it's a movie about an LAPD officer who basically is forced to come back. Well, he's not LAPD; he's an ex-LAPD officer, right?
He's Bakersfield PD.
Yeah, so he's Bakersfield PD, works in Kern County, and he gets this order where he has to go back to LA, and he don't want to go back to LA. You see it written on his face. But he goes back to LA, and it's almost like he's sucked right back into everything. He's catching up with old people. He meets the new him, which I thought was the automatic, like, this is going to go bad. And then from there, we we get taken on a ride. What are some initial, upfront takes that you guys have about the movie? First impressions for the most part.
Do you want to go first, Deshaun, or do you want me to go first?
I can do this.
Got it.
It was really hard. Like the first. Jesus Christ. It started off interesting. I'm like, all right, cool. The beginning was just like, okay, we get this the slasher type kind of opening. Chick is doing what most fucking victims do, stupid shit.
Right.
So I'm just like, fuck, man. I was honestly wishing she did die because of how stupid she was doing shit.
Mm.
Just like, okay, cool. I wish she survived. That was a little different for me. I'm like, all right, cool, nice. We get in a '90s movie. Let's see how this is gonna play out. I'm getting the Denzel vibe at the beginning. I'm liking Denzel. I'm like, all right, cool. The yes sir kind of guy thing. Then it was just too freaking slow for me. It's just one of those moments where I thought I didn't too much care for like watching NCIS when I see my wife or one of my customers watching that shit. I was just like, come on, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Mm. At
And
least
it was just
NCIS has a resolution too.
Yeah.
I'm
There was a
gonna- I'm t-
resolution, but we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I'm gonna tell you guys this. It was hard for me. This is the first time a movie made me really anxious. Like really anxious. Like I was just like, come on. Like really come on. In this sense, and a lot of people was asking me, like, what are you guys gonna be doing next? And I was telling them we're doing the little things. And a lot of people give me this look like, see, I'm disappearing.
Like Homer in the bushes. Oh,
right.
And I'm just like, people start trying to talk to me about it. I'm like, you know what? Please stop. Just stop. Like, I got to finish it. Let me finish it.
Right.
Finish it.
So, me altogether, the pace of this movie really, it took, I was capping it. It took about 50 minutes for it to really pick up and start seeing some character dynamics of like coming together, especially when Denzel and Romney's kind of character really just having that chemistry. And the chemistry was just briefly, it just kind of felt like they just seen each other in a fucking hallway. It's like, sup. And I was just like, all right, come on, you guys. You guys are great actors. You guys can make some shit happen. And the music was putting me to sleep. The score was pissing me off.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, by all means. I mean, look, the score definitely was a little offsetting. I didn't quite understand where the 50s and 60s slow jams and romance music came in. I understood how it became a connection in between characters when he went back and he ran into Opie.
But even those notes that keep coming back every time there's
I'm
like a mystery and Denzel is like doing his thing, it's like it's just like a couple piano notes.
Right.
I'm
it was very
gonna
small
tell you.
notes.
I'm gonna tell you the love songs. Oh, I was cool with that. I like that. I think that was the best part of the movie, in my opinion. I like those songs, especially when it came in certain spots. I was like, oh, there we go. Start playing some different shit. I'm like, I like that.
Was it more so the thematic music, like the orchestra? Okay.
Yeah.
Some of it was a little off. Some of it definitely didn't fit, in my opinion.
The oldies, I was fine with. It was giving a little bit flavor to it, which I did enjoy.
He said some flavor. Now I caught that maybe once or twice, but not too much for it to really stand out. But I get you. Something I noticed in the movie. So as he's going through the whole journey, I feel like they had to force the conflict between Jimmy and Deke from the beginning. That whole moment in the is this your car? Yeah. Why are you towing it? Because that was a mess of a scene. This is a part of my sort of first impressions too. The dialogue pacing was completely off for I think the first hour of the movie. It was weird because characters were talking over each other. Like before somebody finishes, somebody else is saying the answer to the thing that the person's asking. And it felt really strange because I'm like, okay, so people don't talk like that. If you're asking somebody something, they don't immediately respond to you while you're asking the question. And that definitely threw me off. And to kind of piggyback on Dijon, yes, this movie is a slog, and it shouldn't be because Denzel's a fantastic actor. I don't think he did anything wrong. Rami is a great actor. I don't think that his performance was as good as Denzel's. Yeah.
And Jared Leto is fine, but he's the whole premise of that character is anticlimactic. And the whole movie is anticlimactic. And then you find that twist at the end, which we'll talk about later, that totally throws away everything that the movie was supposed to be about. So yeah, I mean, we'll get into the ending later. But my first impressions are, it's incredible that a movie with Denzel, Rami, and Jared Leto could be so uninspired.
So
And it makes sense that this script took 28 years to get to a film.
It gives me that impression, well, what Warner Brothers is trying to fucking achieve. And I was just hoping that I see this pattern just with the fucking DC movies, superhero movies they produce. But it's giving me that impression, like Warner Brothers is just hiring certain directors, certain actors. Ooh, we got something that came up from YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Devontae Griffin says the way it ended still has me puzzled, which I definitely agree with you. And we'll be talking about that for sure. And we also have one more from Mara here, and it says that the music did not fit most of the scenes. I have to agree with that as well.
I'll tell you, she only lasted an hour.
The hour.
Fair. That's fair enough.
And she looked at me like, "You're on your own." But I think this is one of those things where Warner Brothers just wanted some shit to produce, just like a bunch of streaming services are doing, mainly Amazon Prime and Netflix at the moment. I can't say anything about Hulu because I really haven't seen enough Hulu original movies or series to say anything yet. And I'm beginning to see this pattern with Warner Brothers. They put out this money. Here's a couple mil, not a couple, maybe 10, 12, maybe 20 if you're lucky. Just be in this movie. Just be in this movie.
Yeah.
And they look at it because
it's kind of like they have like a budget quota that they're like, oh man, we're shy 30. Yeah, exactly. We're shy 30 million on our budget, so we got to spend that.
And they didn't even make 30 off of this, so I know they couldn't have spent more than 10.
Right.
Exactly. They probably just paid for the fucking casting, and that was it.
Yeah,
because I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but just the scenes when it's like just recycled scenes in certain places, from getting on the freeway, getting off the freeway, the highway, and I'm like, I know that's Lancaster for sure. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's like,
plenty of notable spaces, like not like notable filming locations and just notable places in the city.
I can tell you this, at least they got the time period right, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
For the 90s and just capturing everything, what was going on in the 90s.
And I love 2019 and still get it so accurate.
Yeah, I love that, especially here in Los Angeles. So I love how they did that.
Man, a payphone on every block.
If they only had showed us the Forum and not the Staples, but the Forum isn't blue anymore, so they couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's red now. Yeah. So, yeah. Once we jump into everything, and like I said, the introduction of the two characters, even from the very beginning, we know that the Captain Ferris, once Deacon leaves his town, gets to LA, we understand that he and Deacon Ferris have a muddled history. We know everybody in the department knows who he is. We don't understand, and I'm going to mention later, really, to get into it. Once we get into it, excuse me. As far as Captain Ferris and Deacon, what did we learn from the very beginning? It was pretty much just that Ferris didn't want him there, and that was it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what bothered me about this movie too, is that they spent the entire movie like
hyping him up.
Denzel's got a secret. He's got a secret.
Man.
He doesn't want to tell anybody.
He talks to dead bodies.
Yeah. He talks to dead bodies. He's got a secret. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. By all means.
No, I was just saying, like that they hype it up the entire movie, and then when you finally figure out what the secret is, you're like, "What? That was it?"
Right?
What?
The thing I could have figured out from the freaking ad from the
and that shit pissed
trailer.
Me off because it's like you guys kind of like he did have a secret, and that was like the fucking weirdest. It was the stupidest fucking twist I've seen. I'm sorry. And he was just like,
I didn't think that was a stupid twist. I just thought it was too obvious.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, obvious why I didn't even see that coming. I think I was just kind of like, all right, come on. And it was just this thing like, oh, I shot that chick. I shot that chick and they covered it up. It was pissing me off because I'm like, dude, of most people in your fucking department knew this, they treating you like you was some kind of great fucking champion of a detective.
That's
And I
the
was just
whole
like,
juice.
motherfuckers.
That's the whole juice. So yeah, so before we dive too hard on that, so what we notice about Denzel, what we learn about him very early, once he's gotten too deep into Jimmy's case, now he's back into his old case. What we notice is he can't bear to see women murdered.
Is he though?
See,
this is
in a
what
sense,
I think
I
he
think
set
so.
up Jimmy.
There's no
No, yeah.
proof. There's no proof to suggest that Deacon's cases were related to Jimmy's cases at all.
No, there was one proof, and there wasn't
Okay.
any. Oh, excuse me, no. There was no proof. There was one connection. The connection was it sparked something in Deacon. Everybody around knows that there's something about Deacon. They all know what that something is, and Jimmy doesn't.
No, what I'm
And they
saying
can't
is,
protect Jimmy.
but
That's a secret.
no, what I'm saying though is that Deacon's murder cases,
Mhm.
he makes it seem like they're connected to Rami Malek's, but there's no proof that there was any connection ever.
Oh yeah, no, nothing viable. Not at all.
Right. So what was
No,
the
no.
point of this entire movie?
They're cops, man. They just they said it. They believed one another. They trust one another, so they ran with it.
Which modern day
So
cops
is there
do.
is there a
That's-
serial killer still out on the loose? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Yes. In this situation, yes.
Right.
So here, that's the deal. Is
Ah.
so we find out, or at least Jimmy finds out that Deacon's supposed to have been through a divorce. He's had a triple bypass and he's been suspended. And this was within 6 months. And even though this case was 5 years old, I'm guessing he hasn't been gone for 5 years.
That's confusing.
No, he
I
has
mean,
been
not you,
He's
but
been gone for the five.
that did confuse
Yeah.
me throughout the movie.
I'm
a
pretty
bit.
sure he was gone for
So he's been
5
gone for
years.
5 years, and it took 6 months for him to crash it all.
6 months for him to crash what?
When he was to end
Oh
up
yes.
going through.
Yeah,
it.
so when
Really
he was a
couldn't
cop,
explain it.
apparently he was a cop for like 15 years, and then yeah, 6 months of working this murder case, and everything falls apart.
Mm-hmm. And so again, we already talked. Jimmy is his replacement. What I didn't understand the whole Stan Peters suicide thing.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense either.
Why would
That
this
was
guy
just-
commit suicide? And what
So-
did he know? Or at least
So,
can we find out what did he
honestly,
know?
You guys, I think that we're missing something really big in this movie. I
No,
think
no.
Denzel
Yeah.
is the murderer.
Oh no! Yes, gosh, that I don't think that's as big of a secret. Oh, okay, you guys didn't catch that. Denzel's definitely the murderer.
Right. I think that that's what they're trying to tell us, right?
Yeah, no.
Like,
Okay, if you didn't catch that, let's lift all the veils right now.
Mhm.
Right.
Denzel is the murderer. I knew Denzel was the murderer from the trailer.
Okay. Well, they don't
Okay, no,
necessarily
I
make
assumed-
it
I
100%
assumed Denzel
known.
was the murderer from
Yeah.
the trailer. Let me say it that way.
They leave it very ambiguous, to be honest. But I
They
think that
leave it-
the movie wants you to come to that conclusion.
Oh, Denzel's the murderer. I could. Let
All right,
me-
show your work. Come on.
Oh, right. Let me get my marker and get to this whiteboard.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Right.
But I don't know. That ending was kind of annoying when he was like, he sends him the little envelope with the little red. What is it, Burnett?
Yeah, because
And
then
when he do something, he's not trying to create another one of him.
But yeah, well, of course, that's the only positive thing I seen. Like, he fucked up just like I fucked up. Let me clean this up because he would have never got here if it wasn't for me. So he decided to take everything the best way he can, Then just seeing that Burnett, I was like, oh. Then he's like, whoa. Then he's throwing away or
But
burning the
I
fucking
bought,
thing.
I bought a pack.
I bought it to make him feel like, yeah, you killed the right guy.
Right.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
worry
that
about
drives
it.
me crazy. That
I'm
drives
like,
me
dude,
crazy.
no.
Right.
He's gonna
So-
go back to that precinct and he's gonna be like, that ego will be like, I killed this bitch ass.
Right. Meanwhile, you're still gonna have girls turning up dead left and right because you didn't kill the right dude.
Yeah.
I'm 100% convinced Jared Leto was not the murderer.
No, he was not.
Yeah.
He was just a fanatic, as he said he was. He was
Mhm.
exactly who he said he was.
Right.
Fucking weirdo spending his whole day off at the strip club.
That's
That
it.
dude must get paid really good for that shit.
Hey, I
Right.
mean, he works at a refrigerator repair shop. You know how much that costs?
Apparently millions.
This
Um,
dude here.
so check me out. I mean, I'll just get to the work, right? Here's the
Hmm.
squeak, 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 squeak. All right, so so like you start back when they show you how it all starts. It all starts with Denzel shooting the girl,
Mhm.
right? What it doesn't show you is, remember, there's a total of what, 4 girls for Denzel's
7.
case. Well, 7
Oh,
altogether.
yes, 3 girls in his case. He shot
Three.
the third.
He shot the third, right? They were
Yes.
already searching for 2.
Mhm.
So at that point, they had to, I think, add another one or something of that nature. And that's how, no, sorry, let me back up. They found the 2, they go
Mhm.
searching, he shoots the third,
Right.
adds her to the pile. At this point, you got to cover that up more so than worry about this killer that's out here.
Hey, can I
So-
just add that one part when he got the little just to throw out there, was it just weird when he got the little hotel room and the dude was like, "Are you? I don't want any trouble, or are you a cop?" And like, no, I'm not here for that. I just need a room. He's
Mhm.
like, "Are you lonely?" And that weird scene, and you just see like a girl at his foot, like,
Oh yeah, I thought he
Fuck
got a
is
whore.
going on?
Yeah.
that was
I
his
thought he
demons
got a
haunting him.
hooker. Yeah.
Yeah, those were his demons. So after that, we get through and oh, we never see anything else to lead to anyone else killing anyone except him from the beginning. Even his demeanor about having to take care of Sparma, even though they ran everything on Sparma, they got his car, they did everything they could. They done broke into the dude apartment. He'd have found clippings, all kind of crap. Nothing you could do. Next thing you know, Sparma's dead. Yo, so this boom, 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 boom. He already got it laid out because I started thinking what he ended up doing was he was psychologically profiling Jimmy and got him basically to turn into the killer.
I just don't think that the movie's that smart. I think that your idea of it is much smarter than what the movie is, if I'm being honest. I think like you're just like okay, but what if we take this piece and that piece and
They
this
move
fits
that piece
together
over here.
nicely?
see, you need
Yeah.
that, you need that HBO hush money and just walk over there like,
Right.
look,
Yeah, you need some consultant fees, man.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, perhaps.
Honestly,
me
I
a
think
sequel.
your interpretation is way too
Way
generous. Way
I mean,
deeper.
because it's even more on it behind what he saw in Jimmy and why he took so much
And
interest in Jimmy.
I would be happy to go with your version of events if the story and the movie actually tried to set it up like that. They
didn't really try hard to set it up.
No.
Yeah, give me some fucking Shutter Island twist or some shit.
There you go.
Oh gosh.
That movie's too fucking long though.
It is
Well,
way long.
What do you guys think of Sparma confessing to the murder 8 years prior and then leading Jimmy on that wild goose chase with the digging the holes?
I was
First of
confused
all,
about that.
yeah.
I was confused about that turning himself into 8 year. I'm like, dude, if he confessed, does he take his ass in? What the fuck?
I don't think it really happened.
Maybe not. Or he confessed to something that he didn't do, or he confessed to something that he did do, but he knew he would get away with it.
I think it was something him just watching, right?
No, I think it was the captain and the other officer trying to literally just get Jimmy away from Deacon.
Maybe.
And my thing is this: if you know Deacon is this volatile, so this is where I have a lot of questions. Was more so about the other police officers, right? Like, so Deacon killed this girl. You guys helped him cover it up, and everybody else got a promotion. Oh, girl is still working the field and everything else, doing her job.
Mhm.
Ooh. So the black people didn't get promotions. Everybody's still working. I'm sorry, that just hit me. It hit me just now. And the only reason is I started thinking to myself, like, oh no, the other officer, he was Hispanic. Wait, no, he was a balding white guy. It was a balding white guy. But keep in mind, this happened in the 90s. This is a 90s movie. So likely that's actually how that was set up.
I think you're still being way too charitable, bro. I
too
think
much
you're
on
like,
the-
yeah, you're putting way too much symbolism and like nuance into this very basic, like,
Well,
I don't know.
I hate to say this, but I know I don't hate to say this, but I think the movie was just so bad, and this is why it took so long for the script to be sold, that they did this on purpose for people to sincerely try to break it apart and like make these things up
Gotta break it
to
down.
make it better.
They
Right.
waited till the audience got smarter than the writer.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they'll
Hey,
just let
man.
you have your headcanon be the
Oh,
thing that represents the movie.
I tell you, I
Gosh.
feel the same way about the last Star Wars trilogy,
Mhm.
and I end up doing their job, and I'm like, how the fuck do you fuck this up, JJ?
You step away after making one movie and then have to get
Fuck.
called back because you didn't have a plan. That's what happens.
Yeah. And then you get called back a third time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till the
So-
Matrix 4.
Oh boy.
Oh gosh. I don't know. Why do you do this to us? Every episode
Just
there's
make
something
new
new.
things. Make new things for the love of God.
Stop telling us about the remakes. No,
Yeah.
continue to tell us about the remakes. Just stop
And
making them.
reboots.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, but and I want to be clear. I think we kind of all share a very similar sentiment about this movie. It's not finished,
I
don't think it began.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
but you like, you know what I mean? Like there's something else that's just not there.
There was
I
no
think-
murderer. There was no murderer. This was supposed to be a serial killer movie. There was really
I thought
no
it was definitely a
serial killer.
movie.
What was the I don't know if you guys seen this movie, the movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. And he was
Nightcrawler.
supposed-
Yeah. Yep.
I think that movie was trying to be Nightcrawler, and it was funny because they did make reference to that killer in that movie
Mhm.
at the beginning. This
Oh,
what do you
Zodiac.
call it? This-
Zodiac.
Zodiac Killer.
the
I
Zodiac
was just
Killer
saying,
and the Night Slasher,
Night Stalker.
Night Stalker. There we go.
Oh.
That was Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler was about the Night Stalker.
No, was it?
Or, I don't know.
No,
I
Nightcrawler
haven't
was
seen the
about
movie, but I don't
the news guy that was making crimes in order to cover him.
I need to watch it.
It's pretty good.
I mean, if they did that with
I don't think
Denzel, that would've
Nightcrawler
been
was a
cool.
real life story, was it?
I don't know. I mean, it is kind of a real life story if you think about it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. A little speechless on that one, but fair. Jeez. And that's the other thing. Speaking of the news aspect of these kind of things, there wasn't much media coverage in this movie for what they were covering. There was that initial scene, and then I know we're going all the way back to the beginning from the end. How was he busting his balls by standing in the room?
I don't know. I didn't get that. I did not get that. That's what I meant about the weird dialogue, because it felt like there was things that were cut out of the movie.
And you know what? Like I said, it would have made sense if that scene did not make sense, because of like, you don't even notice, dude. You walk in, you're gonna talk to a media person, tell him something to tell him just to bust his balls, as you guys just said. And I was just like, if they had that twist, if Denzel was actually the murderer, he fucked up and he decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go on a killing spree
Hmm.
and do it because it just psychologically fucked him up in the head. That would have totally made sense.
Right.
And he just wanted to make this guy become the new him because he's just tired of doing this shit. Because
Mhm.
there's another part where that chick that walked in, that was stupid. She recognized Leto's character.
Mhm.
Like she
Yeah.
like he was nervous and she was like, oh shit. Then she like, I want to see that guy. Was that the same chick from the very beginning of the movie that
Yes.
survived?
Yes.
The fuck, man?
Right.
You can't do nothing with that now, though. She saw him in a pair of handcuffs. Now you want to make her point him out in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And he had left.
Yeah.
And I'm like-
Tarnishing the
Doesn't
witness.
matter. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. She's already been tainted.
Mhm.
Well, welcome to the state of California.
But it's just but that's the thing, is like everything is left open-ended and ambiguous. That's it. Like, you don't know if there was a killer at all, if there was an actual serial killer. I mean,
I'm sorry, the person whoever fucking wrote this, yeah, if you've been trying to sell this shit for 28 years and people are just turning your shit down every fucking corner, I would do some fucking revision.
and,
Your
and,
ex-family
speaking,
Hancock?
and speaking of, in the beginning scene where the woman is running away from the killer, quote
Oh my
unquote,
gosh.
he's not even driving the car that he drives. He drives a Nova.
Yeah.
And
it's a
before
different
that, he had a pickup or like an SUV style truck.
car. Mhm.
He
But he
never had that like, you know, Trans Am or the.
He said that was another car. And because we saw the for sale sign on the ground, we are supposed to assume he sold that one.
But then he had that other car that wasn't the first car.
Mhm.
So, all right.
And he
Okay.
could have got a
Poor
rental
girl's still
car.
missing.
Yeah.
And and let's also keep in mind
And no one changed clothes
he-
in this movie.
Never changed clothes, and
No
he
one
was wearing a
ever changed
pillow.
clothes.
He was wearing a pillow on his front.
But wait, let's also.
You could tell that was just like a little padding
me a
because
minute
Jared
to
Leto was
realize what you were
so
talking about.
fucking skinny in this movie, but then he had a paunch. He had like a
He
he had
definitely
like a
did
beer belly.
He definitely did this right after Suicide Squad or something.
Yeah, but yeah, for sure.
Fuck that movie.
Crap, the car thing. Either way, I forgot what I was gonna say about the car as well because it was his car, not when he got out the car at the beginning it was his boots, and then we jumped to Deacon having to go pick up a pair of bloody boots, and then all of a sudden those bloody boots aren't necessary.
Mhm.
But we never find anything else out about his boots. And when old girl sees him, she says when she's talking to the cops, his boots and this and this and that. And then when she sees him, she only looks at his face.
Yeah.
And was he wearing the same boots? And what was
No.
it? I do have that question. What was it with him in that AAA jumpsuit?
That's his work outfit, I guess.
Workout, roundabout, go down,
Everywhere. That's
Go
his
see
all
some
around wear.
That's his
You-
murder
you-
outfit. That's his
Hey.
murdered outfit.
Yeah, you would think that if you're a murderer, you would probably want to change your clothes once in a while.
He had that Michael Myers vibe going on.
Yeah.
Just strip clubs and buying prostitute fast food restaurant food.
Mhm.
It's like, what the fuck? What was that? Have a nice day. Like fucking
Have a nice
people.
I think maybe low key he was just a really nice guy.
I think so.
Yeah,
Very
you know.
awkward, nice.
Very awkward, but just like a decent dude that, couldn't get a girlfriend, so went to strip clubs and then bought, hookers
What an
McDonald's.
He definitely bought him roast beef sandwiches, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you lucky girls. What?
And I guess that if this movie wanted to be a commentary about the obsession a cop can have about trying to find his man, that might have been an interesting movie to see. But then again, we just said we saw Shutter Island. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what Shutter Island is. And so I just don't think that this movie knows what it wants to do. It left everything so open-ended that it can say, oh, well, it's not about that. Oh, no, it's not about that. Oh, but maybe, maybe it's this. Maybe it's that.
Right. It definitely wasn't about Jimmy and his wife.
No. That was weird.
It's like he don't want to talk to her. I started thinking like he got to be the killer. He too affixed on everything else. Right. And why was he so stuck on the one chick?
Right.
It's funny because he didn't give a fuck about her at the beginning because they're usually like, was there a body?
She's just a missing person. Yeah.
Yeah. Now all of a sudden it's like,
this one girl.
Oh, man.
And that's
which is funny because that only happened because of Denzel.
So wait, watch this. That's when I started thinking to myself, okay, so once we figured out the whole situation, Denzel killed the chick. They helped him hide that, blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. Noticing that same crew of people took Jimmy under their wing. And he's like the new Deke, right? What if he really killed her? And that's what's really been hidden. And now that's just popped back up. So that's why every time it comes up, what does he say? Do we have a body? No, then it's still a missing person.
Well, I mean, maybe, but they didn't. I mean, nothing to suggest that. I mean, I would actually rather it be that it's Deacon that pushed Jimmy to think that girl was a murder suspect or a murder victim instead of just a missing person, because we never found her body.
Yeah,
nobody finds her body. So she could have just fucked off and been a missing person. She was the girl jogging, right? She was the one that was jogging.
She's still in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we just see a car pull up, which was not the Nova. Again,
right?
It was the movie from the beginning.
Tell me, man, she's in Lancaster.
Maybe the wife was killing people and he was hiding the bodies, and that's what was really going on.
yeah, exactly. Our headcanon is getting better than the actual movie.
I'm doing them
too much. Man, a notepad.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's really what it is, though. It's just Deacon made this dude super paranoid to think that there was a serial killer when there was no serial killer at all.
Right.
And it was Deacon that was obsessed with his previous case, and for some reason made an excuse to try to tie it to Jimmy's cases.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being the situation. What conclusion do you think the FBI is going to come to?
Nothing.
Oh, they're fucking idiots
Nothing.
too. Like they said in Happy Time, are fucking big idiots.
Big idiots.
Because at the fucking end of that movie, he was just like, "We got this weirdo that is missing. He's a suspect, but he's missing, and he's awkward, but he's missing. We need to find him. He's priority." I'm like, but he was dismissed. All of a sudden, fuck this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, you guys.
Didn't y'all have him right here? I mean, I know this is LA, but you sound like you ain't got the resources.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's funny that because Jimmy was supposed to go tell the chief that Jared Leto's character was a dead end.
Yep. That's
So.
exactly what he was supposed to be doing, which I'm sure he didn't.
Maybe not. We don't get to see that part. So.
Mm-mm.
And did Jimmy quit, or is he on leave?
He supposedly is supposed to be on leave.
But then they said that we miss him.
Right.
Like he's left. Like why would you say you miss somebody if you know they're going to be back in 2 weeks?
That's true.
The greatest thing is when Denzel is telling him what you do. I've been like, my dude, you act like you're good at this. Like
he is.
What's very good at this.
Yeah. Remember? It reminds him of something going on up north. So that means he's up there burying bodies up north, and we just we ain't heard that. We're going to find that
Jimmy,
out.
It's the little things that get you caught.
I said we're going to find that out in the smaller things.
Even littler things. Mm-hmm. It'll be the sequel.
In that sequel, man.
So, yeah, that's pretty much, that's how the cookie crumbles, man. All of this happened just because Deke set foot back in LA. Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, I don't really necessarily understand what we're supposed to glean from this movie, if I'm being honest. I can't tell you. I like this concept that Deacon is the serial killer, but I really don't think that the movie meant for that to be the case. I think it's just a case like this movie is in its most literal form is just a representation of one cop's obsession transferring to another cop.
Right. Or representation of the system and how it works and how easily it is for someone to be taken off the playing field and just disappear.
I guess.
Because of omnipotent power.
I guess. I think you're being charitable again.
Oh, dang it.
I know.
Put me in the writing room, Chuck.
Right, seriously.
There you go. Hey, one scene that we didn't need, that could have shaved off like a good 6 minutes of this movie, him going to see his ex-wife.
Oh
my God.
Yeah.
As touching as that was, it was so unnecessary.
And why was he looking like he was scoping the place out?
Because he was.
And I like that. I like that I like that in the beginning when he was doing his little stakeouts, he was wearing his sheriff hat. I'm like, doesn't that defeat the purpose of trying to be, incognito? You got a big badge on your head.
Go to his thrift store and try it out now. They for some reason they didn't know about fucking changing clothes in this movie.
Wardrobe was definitely not a thing.
They were like, we
spent too much money on the actors.
Oh man, well, yeah, honestly, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely. I mean, considering a couple of the shots were literally just them in the desert, off the highway. The whole last hour of the movie was pretty much outside.
Yeah.
in the same overpass.
The same overpass and the same studio set of a police precinct.
That's right, guys.
Yeah.
We can see.
Yeah. I thought all the money went to the actors for sure. And it's because they all won Oscars.
True.
It's like, how are you going to get 3 Academy Award winners in one movie?
Right. It's like having James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant on the same team.
You'd be paying for that.
Don't worry. LA is getting the super team again.
No, what? Huh? Never mind. We're not doing this right now. We're not doing this right now.
It's like super bands. They never last. Except one.
Clipper Darrell?
A band called Dead Weather.
Oh god. Oh, super band. Super. I thought you said
Super
super
bands.
fans.
No,
Yeah, I thought you
super
said-
bands.
I thought you said super fans. I'm like Clipper Darrell. Yeah, I think he's still working. But so that is the cover of The Little Things, brought to you in part by the Screen Time Continuum, and our review of what you may not have seen and we just watched to talk about for you. So yeah,
Ratings.
ratings. Is there anything else? And I mean anything else that you guys think we missed? Just want to tidbit talk about, bring up before we hit ratings.
Oh yeah, I think it was weird that the friend that invited him to have coffee, like then as soon as they sit down, Rami Malek comes in and is like, "All right, let's go." And I was like, "Okay, now where we're going." Are you going to invite somebody for a coffee when you literally have to leave like
You're on,
immediately?
Well, I'll buy you a cup.
Yeah,
So you just coming down to break my balls? Do I know you, son?
right. Have we ever seen each other? I mean, I know I saw you in that conference room, and then you tried to tow my car,
Man, which
which didn't even make sense. Why did he try to tow the dude's car if he was going into the conference room?
because I don't have time.
Yeah, I don't have time. He wasn't going anywhere. He was going
That was the
inside
part
the
I didn't understand.
precinct.
Yeah, that was definitely the part I didn't understand. Like, aren't you? Didn't you just? But he breaking your balls, huh?
Right. You're breaking the movie's balls.
Yeah.
I mean, did you teleport to the inside the precinct? Like, I'm pretty sure Denzel walked into the precinct and then all of a sudden he's in the conference room.
I didn't even see him park behind that dude. And I was like,
I thought he parked in his spot. I swear to you, I thought he parked.
yeah, I was like, what the hell? Nah, that's a beat up ass Bronco. Get that
And
shit out of
OPG
here.
ain't never got to noting that damn fast, even inside the precinct. Come on.
Mm-mm. Right.
Just saying. That's never happened.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
It's all shenanigans.
So yeah, overall take of the movie, Nick.
Are we doing ratings?
Ratings and final
All
reviews.
right,
man.
let's
do it.
Let's do this,
Do it
ladies
like
and
a Nike
gentlemen.
commercial.
It is that time of the show where we get into our ratings for this movie, The Little Things, 2021. Boy, oh boy, what can I say about a movie that has so much potential but so little going on? I can't say that this is a great movie. I would love to. I think Denzel is a fantastic actor. I think Rami Malek's really interesting to look at. He's kind of like having one of those big-eyed goldfish in your aquarium. You know, like they always look a little bit cooler than the regular goldfish. Jared Leto is just an obnoxious ass, but I guess he plays a decent weirdo in this film. I guess, but it's really just, if you watch the last 10 minutes of Zack Snyder's Justice League, the extended cut, it's just the Joker, you know, at the end of the movie. James Franco. Yeah, maybe, you know, maybe he could be doing that a little bit too.
They could replace him with James Franco. The movie would have been a little bit more tasteful.
Yeah.
But it had 3 or 4 more jokes.
Maybe.
Just clean him up, make him look like, you know, the dude from Disaster Artist.
Mm-hmm. Tommy Wiseau. Yeah, so I can't, honestly, this movie is a slog. It's not worth your time. It is slow to the point of frustration, but also there is no ending. The whole movie sets up like you're tracking a serial killer, only to find out that there might not even be a serial killer, and there's no accountability for that. So I can't, if you're looking for a satisfying ending, you're not going to find it here. So I have to give this, and I'm going to give a point for each Academy Award that this movie carried, and that's 3. So this gets a 3 from me.
Nice.
Damn.
Nice.
I know I'm being harsh, but you know.
I don't think so. I think we can officially see the disappointment, sir.
Yeah, right.
Dijon, what do you think? What you
I'll
got
go
over there?
last. I'll go last.
Oh, yes, indeed.
He's going to give it a 10 out of 10. That's right.
Yeah. Apparently, he loves it.
Calm down, people. Calm down.
So, yeah, for me, I like the movie conceptually. As you guys can tell, I did the Gambit on my own, just kind of piecing things together that were and were not there. I had fun doing that. Like honestly, I had a lot of fun trying to piece the puzzle together. Um, so I mean that's a plus for me. Like Nick said, Jared Leto, Rami Malek, Denzel Washington, pluses for me. Um, you know what? You wrote a script 28 years ago. You were patient enough to finally get it picked up. I give you a half a point for that. I give you a half a point for that.
Sure, but was that only because he did successful movies?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
he was able to kind of push this.
That's why I said he.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was patient
Right.
with this piece of work. And I'll give him a half a point for that.
Mhm.
But no ending, agreed. Or I can't say there's no ending. There is an ending, but it's not as satisfactory as I thought it would be. Even though it pretty much ended the way I thought it would, it was not as satisfying as I wanted it to be. Because I still had a lot of questions. But I do like the lack of a hero, lack of a villain concept. That I really admired. I liked the boldness of being able to or trying to run with that. So I think right then and there I can give you a solid 5. Yeah, that's pretty much where it. I can give it a 6 because I made it through it, and I can honestly say I might watch it again and try to figure it out. But I liked it. I want to be clear. I liked the movie. I did not hate or dislike this enough to say, "Oh, I'll never watch this again." But it reminds me of kind of like just some of those movies when you were a little younger, those B-roll movies where it's like, okay, I watched it, but why did I watch it?
When you watched it,
like I enjoyed parts of that, but wow. And
let's also put it this way: Seven was able to do this 25 years ago, much better.
7.
Oh,
wow.
I mean, you know, like if you want to watch a serial killer movie, that's one of the best.
Never seen it.
Did it 25 years ago.
Totally forgot about that movie. Look, look, if we can forget about movies that are actually decent, imagine how we'll forget about this by the end of the year.
So we started looking at the rating list.
Well, this one won't really be on the list to rate, so
it'll be in our bottom. It'll be in our bottom.
It'll definitely be in our bottoms. For God's sake, there's a Denzel Washington movie in my bottom rating. We got to watch Fences or something soon.
Yeah, we got to redeem ourselves.
Sorry, Denzel. This isn't personal.
Not at all.
We know
he's the only decent act in the entire movie, if I'm being honest.
Oh, he definitely takes this movie.
Yeah.
So, and if we're being fair, maybe Rami Malek and Jared Leto, maybe they felt the foreshadowing. You know, maybe they felt like, yeah, it's Denzel, bro. I just showed up. You know. But yeah. So Dejan, what would be your review and rating for The Little Things? Is it a 10? Are you gonna give it a 10? Are you feeling? You know what? And I'm gonna say this for you.
Perfect 10.
Dejan is not giving his rating because he's trying to balance this out. This is truly how he feels.
You guys ready?
Yes.
This is getting a 0.5.
Oh, jeez.
Gutter ball from the tip of the toe. That thing dropped. It's dropped right there next to him.
Oh, man.
Gosh.
Wow. Wow.
Boy, wow. I guess I'm the most generous. Look,
I got the vapors from that one.
Jeez. Gosh. Let it breathe. Just let that breathe for a minute, because I got to put on my disguise so nobody knows who I am.
Yeah.
Can't be seen.
Got a king shark it.
Wow. Go for it. Get in.
Oh man.
Floor is yours.
Oh my god.
What? Why the 0.5?
I was mad half the way, and I struggled with this movie. I really did not want to finish this, man. It was really hard for me. It's very rare that I go through this process with movies. Wow. Oh, Jesus. Only thing I can really give it a point for, I mean, it'd get a solid 1 from me because of the ensemble, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing about this movie, for me personally, it could have did way better. And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, even if these characters shifted up a bit and took different roles or like swapped their roles, that would be it. But it was just, wow. I'm a fucking this Owen Wilson. This wow. Man, this movie just pissed me off.
Yeah, I think you know what they could have switched Leto and Rami Malek. That might have been more interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like they were damn near the same character.
Or I just this movie was a waste of money. Just made it just should have just stayed in the fucking vault, or just they should have did what he did at the end of that movie. Just took the fucking script and just tossed it in the bin of fire. You know, to each their own. This is the most nasty I've ever been with any movie. Next to after watching Paperboy with Xana, with fucking Zac Efron and Matthew McConaughey.
What?
I can't do it. I can't do it. This movie was just like pissing me off in so many ways. It was a struggle. I could probably keep repeating the same thing because it just broke my fucking mind.
Apparently, it broke their minds too. Hence the reason they became murderers.
It made me want to go fucking murder the whole process. Everybody who put time and effort in this shit. I mean,
like, you were the grip? Oh no, you gotta go.
You gotta go, man.
You know, like I said, casting wise, man, you had a pretty good ensemble. I recognize a couple people from TV shows and other movies, and I'm just like, everything was just fucking pointless. Another movie it reminded me of is, I think, 3 Billboards Down of Mississippi.
My god, yeah.
And that whole movie was like, it was a little bit more entertaining than this, and had a great ensemble, but it was just like a whole build up to this fucking nothing.
And you know what? That's exactly what this is. This build up to nothing. This is an Oscar movie. They made this right before the Oscars.
Yeah.
Oh, it literally came out right before the Oscars. Oscars are in February. So they put this thing together thinking, oh man, since there's nothing going on in 2020 for movies, we're going to get all the awards.
Last minute slide in. We got the right players. We got LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. How can we not win?
Yeah, how can you not give us something for this? Yeah.
I'm gonna find other sports to reference, guys.
No, it's good. It's your thing. It's your thing. Holy shit.
So yeah, that brings us to an 8.5 out of 30. What is
2.8?
Yeah, I was about to say, I know it's a 2. I thought it was a 2.6. I was close.
2.8 out of 10.
So a 2.8 out of 10, and if I am correct, that is our lowest rating.
That is our lowest. Hold on, just one moment. I will find out the bottom, the bottom of the barrel for us real quick. Normally, I have this list up. I was just saying.
They thought they was making the cream of the crop. Turned out they was making a black sticky shit at the bottom of the barrel.
Ooh wee. Yep.
Crazy.
Let's see.
That's a movie reference for those who aren't aware.
Ooh, which movie reference is it?
I believe I could be wrong on where I got it from, but I remember it was a movie. I believe it was a 1998 movie called Sprung with Joe Torre.
I love that movie.
Tisha Campbell. Dang, who else is in that movie? I know the other 2 people. I just can't remember their name.
So this movie ranks in our bottom 5, along with this is our lowest. So I guess we'll go from let's see, Anger Management at a 5 out of 10, Outside the Wire at a 5 out of 10, Colossal at a 5 out of 10, Eraser at a 4.5 out of 10, Bulletproof at a 3 out of 10, and now The Little Things at a 2.8 out of 10.
I want to say very clearly, I rated this way too fucking high. I like all of those movies more than I like, way more than I like this.
Oh yeah, yeah, but it makes sense though because this is still way lower. I mean, Bulletproof is only a couple decimal points higher, but the rest are,
right,
significantly better.
Fair enough. To answer your question, Dejan, the other players, or to finish what I was saying, the other people in that movie sprung, and it was 1997, not 1998. Paula J. Parker and Rusty Cundiff. And yeah, it's just a great movie.
I gotta watch it because Mara's on this whole thing of I'm sorry, I'm saying her name out, but my wife is on this whole thing of seeing a lot of these black movies. So I'm like, yeah, let's watch them, like House Party.
Yeah, back to House Party.
Back to it.
I mean, hey, if when it's your turn, got a whole list of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's on HBO Max.
Oh,
everyone 1 through 4.
Wait, oh God, here we go. Back to that. I thought you were talking about the other movie.
Which one? Oh no, I'm talking about House Party.
Oh, I know. If only you had number 5 on there, huh? So guys, that gives us what was it again? 2.8 out of 10, our lowest rating of all screen time. And we will continue them as long as you guys continue to come and visit and watch what we do.
I see what you did there.
I appreciate that.
That was cool though. That was cool.
So yeah, by all means, for those who have stuck around for the entire duration, for those who are tuning in through any other platforms outside of video platforms, audio platforms, if you're just cruising around listening to it on a day that is not the day that we went live, we appreciate you either way.
If you got a metal plate in your head and you're just downloading this, receiving some random radio wavelengths, we appreciate you too.
We appreciate you as well. Now take off that alien cap because they don't use those waves anymore. They've upgraded. Right. But definitely, if you guys want to check out anything else going on the Thinker and Talks page, please head on over there. You'll be able to find every single one of our podcasts and the website to get to our merch stores on there. We can start with the merch store and the website, which is www.thinkering.space. Head on over there and you'll literally be able to get anything that we do at the single click of a button, as well as get a direct link to contact us and tell us what you do and don't like, what you would like to hear, and what you love that you have already heard. On Mondays and Fridays, we have the Exo Fathom that Nick hosts with Ayla and Mike. That comes on at 8 o'clock p.m. On the Exo Fathom, they talk about all kinds of cool stuff that I'm sure you and your friends have talked about, might talk about, or maybe you're one of those people who have friends that don't like to talk about things like conspiracy and religion and, just general life things that could really help you get by or might just be entertaining. Check that out on Mondays and Fridays. Again, that's at 8 p.m. You can check out what I do on Tuesdays, If Numbers Could Talk. If Numbers Could Talk is a show that we literally just talk about numbers, statistics, what numbers are coming in about sports. What are we talking about? One of the most recent episodes I did was about cars, movies, comic books, anything I could pull a number from. I'm going to sit and talk with those numbers, get them organized and present them to you. I do that Tuesdays around 6 p.m. If you want to also check out all the new and interesting video games or old interesting video games that you've never heard about, check out Dejan on the Twitch platform. He has Strawberries and Coffee. He comes on at 10 p.m. Also, you can jump over to YouTube if you're available, maybe not at 10:30 or 10 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but the following days on Wednesdays and Wednesdays and Fridays, Dejan's going to post those to YouTube for you to be able to look those up. Again, that is Strawberries Coffee. That is the letter N with an apostrophe right after it. Go ahead and check that out, guys. If you like to just check in with what we're doing here at Screen Time Continuum, and all you want to hear is us tear movies apart or put them together and lift them up and tell you how great they are, just check us out right here on the Screen Time Continuum. That is Wednesdays and Sundays at 8 p.m. Oh, I'm sorry, 8:30 p.m. Hey, come on in at 8. By 8:30, you'll be nice and warmed up, and we'll be ready to go for you. We appreciate you guys. And for the Screen Time Continuum, my name is Keelan.
I'm Nick. And
I'm the mustard.
There you
I
Nice.
get kicked out this time.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.